hear you.
All right. Hi, everybody.
Perfect.
Here we go.
Okay. Check his, Claire?
Yeah.
Can you check his,
It's on.
It was on.
I've not changed anything.
did you pull something apart maybe?
I don't think so.
Is it
It
plugged
was
in?
on.
I hear you.
You can hear me?
I can hear you. Maybe it got disconnected. Sometimes there's a little. Oh, Eric, you're such a pain in the butt. And I'll make sure to let you know if I'm not seeing.
Stories are crazy, the real deal. Eric's the talent, a diva with sass. He's kind, hilarious, and kinda crass. Producer Claire runs the show. A self-proclaimed nerd, always in the know. We're guaranteed to make you laugh, blush, or relate. Buckle your seatbelts and don't be late. Here we go, get ready. It'll be great. On with the show.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Laura Kane After Dark. This is an extremely special episode because I am so nervous. I'm kind of shaking right now. We have Barry Edelstein. He is the artistic director of the Old Globe, the gem of San Diego, the classic, the wonderful, the old, the launching pad for so many incredible shows. The shows that are there incredible.
It's one of the things San Diego's known for.
Of course, this is Barry. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Barry.
I'm so happy to be with you. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule because I know you are in the first week of rehearsals for Hedda Gabler.
Right.
Starring Katie Holmes.
Yes.
Who you are directing.
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell us, first of all, how's it going? And what is the story about?
Sure. Well, it's going great. I mean, Katie is amazing, incredible actor, nicest person in the world. And the room is full of incredible people. The rest of the cast, there's 7 actors in the show, so 6 other actors in the show. Then there's somebody who's adapted the play because it's an old classic from 150 years ago in Norway. So we have this very famous writer who's adapted it, all these incredible designers, a very famous composer who's written music for it. So it's like a, Cadillac. People still drive Cadillacs? Yeah, it's still a Cadillac of a show.
Now, what is
Rolls Royce? I don't know.
What is day one like when you gather all these incredible people together? What do you start doing? What's the first
thing in
you
the
do?
world? You just want to, you want to go run to the bathroom and throw up. It's so nervous making, Well, should I tell you what it is? Should I tell you what the play is? Okay.
Tell us
So this play is called Hedda Gabler. It's somebody's name. It's this woman's name, Hedda Gabler. And it's a play by a guy named Henrik Ibsen, I-B-S-E-N, Ibsen, who is the father of modern drama. He was active in Norway at the end of the 19th and the very beginning of the 20th century. And he is a guy who revolutionized the theater. Up until him, people wrote plays about kings and queens and aristocrats, and they made big, long speeches, and they were these big, epic things. And Ibsen came along, and he said, I want to write a play about regular people, about marriage, about family, about people having trouble in their business, about people who are complicated, people who change their minds, people who are argumentative, people who are difficult, people who are looking for happiness, people who are happy for a minute and then not, people who just speak regular language. So he changed everything. There's theater before Ibsen, and then there's theater after Ibsen.
And that was a long time ago.
150 years ago, yeah. And everybody you think about, like Eugene O'Neill, Arthur Miller, the big names of the American theater, Tennessee Williams, they're all influenced by him. Everything that came after is influenced by him because he put psychology and realism and just normal human behavior and human people on stage.
And feminism to some
Well, so this is his masterpiece. Hedda Gabler is his masterpiece. He wrote, 15 plays. And this is his absolute masterpiece. And it's a play about a woman who gets married, who's, excuse me, recovering from a cold, I apologize, whose options in society are limited By a lot of things, by the patriarchy for sure. So it's a feminist play, an early feminist play about a woman trying to find her way in a world of men who want women only to be wives and mothers and to keep quiet and let the men sort of have all the power in the world. But also it's a play about a woman who has an imagination that is beyond what the people, it's set in a small college town in a kind of provincial town a few hours outside the big city. And she gets married to this guy because she's reaching a certain age where she feels like she's got to get married, but she doesn't really love him. There's a boy from her past who shows up, who's this genius writer, and she realizes that the options that are available to her are never going to make her happy. So she tries to engineer her life by manipulating all the people around her into an outcome that she thinks might make her happy, and it doesn't work out well.
What an
Oh boy.
awesome part.
Yeah, it's an
for
amazing
Katie.
part. It's the Hamlet for women. It's the Hamlet for women.
Amazing.
And it's one of these plays that's played by gigantic actresses. I mean, Cate Blanchett, Ingrid Bergman, Diana Rigg, Judi Dench. I mean, you go down the list. Every major actress takes a shot at it, just the way every major actor takes a shot at Hamlet.
Now, I know that you and Katie worked together on The Wanderers.
That's right.
Which was in New York.
Yes.
And is that how you guys became friends? Is that how you decided, hey, she's the one I want?
So we did a play at the Globe in 2018 called The Wanderers. And the thing about the old Globe in San Diego is that we start plays that then go on to lives in New York, on Broadway, off Broadway, around the country, and in fact around the world. So we did this play in 2018 called The Wanderers, did it in New York with a different cast, and Katie got involved. So that was in 2023, and I directed that, and we just hit it off. It's one of those things. Sometimes an actor and a director get along well, sometimes they don't. The two of us just really got along well. We had a fantastic time together. So when it was done, I said, hey, listen, Katie, I run this wonderful theater in San Diego. Why don't you come out? She said, as soon as my daughter goes off to college, I'll be free, and I'll come out.
Wow.
So for sure. So that was, and she's a freshman in college now, is Katie's daughter. And so we put a list of plays together. Hedda was on the list, and she said, yeah, I think I'd really like to take a crack at that.
Amazing.
Because that's got to be a challenge.
Yeah.
For any
No, it's
actress.
no joke. It's no joke because it requires everything. She's a victim. She's also a tyrant. She's vulnerable. She's also mean. She's manipulative, but she's also kind of sweet. It's just every color in the rainbow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great.
And is there going to be any kind of, are you twisting it in any way, like in a certain way to make it more, I don't know, modern in any way?
That's a great question. So the play was written in Norwegian in the 1890s. So the first thing you have to do is translate it into English. And we have hired somebody who has made what we're calling a new version of the play. This very famous writer named Erin Cressida Wilson. You know a movie called Secretary? Remember that movie?
Oh my gosh.
She wrote that.
Oh, wow.
And, this is kind of, that's if you know the movie, it's sort of a sexy movie about women and women finding their power. So what we did is we got a literal translation from Norwegian into English by a scholar who says, this is what this line means. And in Norwegian, there's a pun, but in English, it's hard to get. And this is a reference to this and that. This like huge, long thing that explains the whole thing in English. And then Erin took that and sort of made it into her voice. So we're premiering this brand new version of the play. It's going to be set in 1890s in Norway. It's going to look like that, but we're stripping it way back. There's not going to be like frou-frou and tea sets and curtains and like antique furniture. It's going to be very sleek and very spare. And so it has a kind of modern feeling about it, even though it's still in Norway in 1890. Very cool.
Now, tickets are already on sale. We did have a little bit of a pre-sale, but now general tickets are available.
They are.
When's opening night?
Opening night is February 12th. But in the theater, there's a period called previews where you do the show in front of audiences and work on it in the afternoon and make changes.
Okay.
So that starts on the 8th, I think, of February, the 7th of February. The 7th of February. And the official opening night is the 12th of February, and then it goes on for some weeks after that.
Are you a little bit stressed because it's like almost only a month away?
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing. We do them fast. Wow. But it's 90 minutes. It's 90 minutes without an intermission. So, it goes fast. It's really sleek. It's really cool. The other thing that the show has is live music. So when I direct plays, I like to put live music in the plays because I feel like it kind of lifts it and makes it fun. So we got another super duper star, this woman named Caroline Shaw, who has 4 Grammy Awards and a Pulitzer Prize.
Oh.
And she is no joke. She is really, many people consider the leading composer of classical music in America. Amazing. Young woman, she's in her 40s, and she has written a piano score. So there's going to be a live pianist on stage playing. Because in the play, Hedda has a piano. And Hedda goes and plays the piano every once in a while. It's this very important object to her. The only thing that she's moved into this new house, and the only thing of hers that's in this new house that belongs to her husband is her piano. Wow. So it's very important to her. So we have this person up there playing the piano the whole way. Kind of cool.
You curate the entire season for the Old Globe, 2026-27 season.
Yeah.
Can you give us what's coming up, like some highlights and things we can look forward to after this great production?
So as the artistic director of the Globe, my job is to pick the stuff that we produce and then pick the artists who do it. So I hire the directors, and then we hire the actors and the designers. The Globe does other stuff. We have a drama school at the University of San Diego where we train actors. We also have something we call arts engagement, where we bring theater out into the community, and particularly into underserved and historically marginalized communities. So we're in prisons and homeless shelters and refugee centers and senior centers and libraries and schools and stuff all over San Diego County. But the main thing that we do is we put on 16 professional theater productions a year in 3 theaters in Balboa Park. So we do 2 Shakespeares outside. This year we're doing Measure for Measure, and I'm directing Much Ado About Nothing.
Oh my!
So that'll be fun. And then we do musicals that go to Broadway. We're doing this big musical called Begin Again with a score by, the band Train?
Yes. I was going to mention this last week, and I was like, okay, wait, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it, but I was so excited. This is huge.
Yeah.
Train is incredible.
Yep, Train is cool. And it's this movie, Begin Again's a movie from 2020 something, I don't know, a couple years ago, this Mark Ruffalo movie. Yeah. And it's a stage adaptation of that, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And then we're doing a famous August Wilson play called Fences. We're doing a play called, which is one of his masterpieces. Yeah. We're doing a play called Kim's Convenience, which was a play that then turned into a Netflix series about a guy who owns a bodega in Toronto and his family and how that works. We're doing a stage adaptation of Hitchcock's movie North by Northwest by this very famous English theater director, so this will be the American premiere of that. That's super cool, full of music and movement, and they figure out how to do the airplane scene and the Mount Rushmore scene, all that stuff. It's really sweet, really great. Then we're doing a bunch of new plays by writers that are new. Big thing that the Globe does is world premieres of plays by new writers. So in our small theater, we tend to do plays by writers making their first time having a play produced, and that sometimes the Globe commissions, and sometimes we premiere shows in San Diego that have been done in New York before. And then the thing that's happening alongside Hedda Gabler is something I'm really looking forward to. I don't know how many English majors are out there watching, but there's a very famous short story by Herman Melville, who wrote Moby Dick. And one of his most famous short stories is called Bartleby the Scrivener. And we've commissioned a wonderful theater company in New York called Fiasco to make this into a play, and it's really fun and wonderful. So it's a season that has comedy and drama, that has fancy people in it and young people that nobody's heard of. It's got Shakespeare, it's got music. It's wonderful. People don't know that the Old Globe is the largest regional theater in the United States outside of New York City.
Wow.
I mean, we're talking LA too.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Now, if somebody is listening, they're like, okay, I want to go to that one, they can pick and choose and make their own package.
That's right. You can subscribe and make your own package, and you get, as a subscriber, you get less expensive prices than if you buy individual tickets for each show. You can also just go on our website and pick the show you want to see, buy a ticket, come on over.
Oh my gosh, Eric and I are going to see every single one because we're so excited.
Yeah, it's great stuff. It's a wonderful company.
I'm going to brag about you a little bit. Okay, because obviously Barry has some immense experience under his belt. He's not only a director, he's a producer, he's an author, he's an educator. The Winter's Tale, Othello, Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, All's Well That Ends Well, The Wanderers, The Merchant of Venice with Al Pacino. You worked with Al Pacino.
Yeah.
What
worked
was
with Al
that
Pacino.
like?
Incredible, spectacular. He's amazing. He's a giant, has these great stories, tells stories all the time. He's funny.
I mean, do you have to direct him, or does he know what to do?
Yeah, so I produced that show. It was directed by a wonderful guy named Daniel Sullivan. But my job was to get with Al Pacino and help him figure out how to speak the Shakespeare text. Because he played Shylock, the famous character Shylock in The Merchant of Venice, has these big, long speeches. So I would get in a room with him and we would spend hours just sort of working on those speeches together. It was an amazing experience.
What's the most important thing you teach an actor who is portraying a Shakespeare character? Like, what is the one thing that they really need to know and learn?
So Shakespeare's language, although it's 400 years old and sounds kind of odd, is basically English, just like you and I are speaking today. The rules are a little different, the grammar is a little different, but basically it's English. So the most important thing that you have to do when you're acting Shakespeare or anything is what we're doing right now, which is you have a thought in your head and then you choose language to express that thought. I don't know what I'm going to say when you ask me a question. Mm-hmm. I'm having a thought and I've got to figure out what words am I going to use in order to put that thought into the air. And my brain goes to work and it comes up with words that it then sends to my mouth and my tongue and my lips, and those words go out into the world. So when we work on Shakespeare, that's what we do. We go, what's the thought there? What's the thought that Shylock is actually trying to communicate? Oh, I understand what he's trying to say. Now, why is he using those words in order to communicate that thought? And it creates the opportunity for the human brain to think up the words right as you're going, as opposed to thinking, oh, Shakespeare wrote that and I have to recite them, or Shakespeare wrote that, I have to make it sound a certain way. No. You're just a person in a situation thinking and speaking. And that's what we do.
So much sense, because you've seen that kind of Shakespeare that you just said, and then you've seen the good Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Now, somebody who is maybe not a Shakespeare fan, because it's difficult to follow sometimes. There's a lot of dialogue. What would you say to somebody to learn how to listen properly to get it?
Well, so one of the things, a theater like the Globe, it's clear, right? Like we're the top of the game. We know how to do it. The directors we hire know how to do it. The actors we hire know how to do it. The actors we train in our training program know how to do it. So it's good to go to a really major theater company to see it for the first time, because you can bank on the fact that they're people who are doing it at a kind of high level and you're going to be able to follow it. But the other thing I would say is you got to just sit with it for a second and trust the fact that it's English, right? Like here's a line of Shakespeare. Oh, she's warm. Now that's a famous line from a famous play of Shakespeare. Oh, she's warm. Nothing Shakespearean about that. That's just English, right? I mean, here, I'm going to touch you. Oh, she's warm, right? There you go, Shakespeare. So
just really,
not everything is complicated. Oh, what is this quintessence of dust? It's not. Very little of Shakespeare is all of that.
Really?
A lot of it is just pretty plain English. It's just that since it's 400 years old, the rules are a little bit different.
Yeah.
So I think I would say to most people, listen, you speak English, trust it, sit there, let it wash over you, your ears will tune in, and there are costumes, there's color, there's music, there's people moving around, there's actors being intense and communicating the story. You'll follow it.
Barry just happens to be, and I wanted to say but I will say one of the, just so I'm not, embarrassing you or anything, leading authorities on the works of Shakespeare in America, and I want to say the world.
Well, that's very kind.
Because this man right here, he started at Tufts, then he went to Oxford, where he was a Rhodes Scholar. And you know what that means? He got to go to school for 3 years, full ride, because of his intellect and because of his talent.
You are embarrassing
I
me.
know, but this is huge.
Embarrassing me.
I mean, a Rhodes Scholar.
My
this is not
God.
a joke. I read that. I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm not worthy. He cannot be in my house
I was
the
a
way it
Rhodes
looks
Scholar.
right now.
Your house is
Oh
lovely.
my God, you're so nice.
Your house is lovely.
Now, okay, let's start at the beginning. What were you like as a kid? How did theater like come into your life?
Wow, that's such a good question. I was nerdy. I was a chubby, nerdy kid who, I read the New York Times when I was 4 years old, and I was precocious and a pain, and I watched way too much TV and
Like what?
Oh, well, my vintage is like, so Channel 11 in New York City reruns after school, F Troop and Superman and Batman and I Love Lucy and Abbott and Costello and the Honeymooners. That vintage of like rerun television. F Troop, my God. Anybody even know what that is anymore?
Yes, I've heard of it.
F Troop. F Troop would be canceled in a New York minute. If you put that show on right now, it'd be off before you could even start.
Yes.
Terrible. Anyway, so I was sort of a tubby, I don't know, a little dark sort of loner of a guy. And when I got to junior high, there was a charismatic theater teacher. And that's changed my life. My life, in junior high, in high school, in undergraduate, and at Oxford, there were individual teachers who changed the direction of my life. And without them, I wouldn't be sitting where I'm sitting today. 'Cause I just was sort of a roly-poly, dumpy kid who, was smart and, a little caustic. And these teachers sort of set me straight. I revere teachers and love teachers because the story of my life has been absolutely about the transformation that a caring, loving, invested teacher can make in a kid.
Did you start in acting in productions?
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody who's in the professional theater in any capacity started as an actor.
And then
Excuse
it
me.
just kind of went.
And then they, I beg your pardon.
No, that's okay.
And then
Everybody
they,
has this.
and then they move along, and then they move on to some other thing. So yeah, I was an actor. I wasn't a very good actor, and also I was since I was a smarty guy, a smart aleck guy, I was much more interested in the whole story. When you're an actor, you got to really be concerned with just your part, your lines, what your part of the story is. But I always wanted to know, like, why is that happening over there? And why is that guy doing that over there? And why is that entrance happening over there? And why is the play set up this way? So a great teacher said to me, you know what you are? You're a director. You're thinking like a director. That's what you should look at. And I did.
What was your first production you ever directed?
Wow. You start out doing scenes from plays. I remember doing a scene from Hamlet, and I did it outside in like on campus of Tufts when I started directing, and we were doing the graveyard scene, and we started digging up this lawn, and the campus cops came and shut us down because I was
You almost got arrested.
digging up this lawn at night. Yeah. I did that. I eventually later I directed a production of Hamlet at Oxford University at one of the colleges, and we needed a chair to be the king's throne. So I just walked into this room and I grabbed a chair, and it turns out it was this like 400-year-old antique Jacobean chair, and I got busted by the campus cops again.
The leg didn't break off. Thank God.
No, thank goodness.
What is your most to date? I know this is probably going to be a difficult question, but what's your most proudest achievement?
Wow, that's,
in the theater.
in the
I mean, I
theater.
know children and raising kids is probably
of
the
course.
most,
Absolutely
obviously.
true, as you know. Wow, I don't know. I mean, I've been blessed. I've had so many amazing, wonderful opportunities in my career in the theater. I've done productions that have been acclaimed, productions that have sort of transformed my life in some ways. But, I guess I would say, really truthfully, the chapter of my life, I've been at the Old Globe for 13 years. It's been so amazing. And what we've been able to build here in San Diego, and the work that we're doing out in the neighborhoods of San Diego, and just the fact that in the post-pandemic moment when theaters in America are struggling, the Globe is thriving and doing great. I'm so very proud of that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Talk about the work you do out in the community. What kind of productions do you bring to?
So we do a whole bunch of different things. We have about 13 or 14 different programs. Some of them are performance. So once a year, we produce a Shakespeare play, and then we tour it for a month to these venues, to libraries, to church basements where a refugee community is based, to a facility for at-risk youth, to a social hall at the Navy base for naval the naval community and their families, prisons where we partner with the California Department of Correction and Rehabilitation. So we're in prisons doing stuff. How do they react to this? Well, it's amazing. So that's the performance piece of it. But most of it, we do workshops where we teach people how to write plays. We do workshops that are about Shakespeare and the ideas in Shakespeare and that sort of speak to self-expression. We do job training workshops. We do workshops where people can understand all the different crafts of theater that are not acting and writing. You know, there's carpentry, there's electrics, there's all that sorts of stuff. So this huge range of programs that dig into all the different ways that theater can be meaningful in people's lives. The prison program is the most absolutely amazing thing. The Globe has the largest program of theater with incarcerated populations of any institutional theater in the country. And we have these wonderful people in our theater that have devised something called Reflecting Shakespeare. And the way it works is they go into the prison and with a Shakespeare play. And
Do you bring backdrop and
no,
stuff?
No. And they just take the text.
Okay.
And they read through the text with these guys, some of whom are, highly educated, some of whom have very little education, some of whom maybe have had some experience in the theater before, some who haven't. And all they do is dig into the themes. So let's say they're working on Hamlet. A big theme in Hamlet is revenge. So they'll talk about the language of the play and the idea of revenge as Shakespeare expresses it. And then they ask these guys to write their own material about the theme of revenge, or, banishment, or grief, or family, whatever the subject may be, or laughter or joy, whatever the particular play is pointing to. And these guys do these writing exercises. So the Shakespeare language and their own language are kind of bouncing off each other, kind of in conversation with each other. And it's absolutely extraordinary. If you want to understand something deep, there's this famous speech in Romeo and Juliet where Romeo gets banished. And he has this incredibly long, wonderful, complicated speech about what it feels like to be banished. If you want to think about banishment, about what it feels like to be sent out, talk to a guy who's been in prison for 25 years. The depth and power of their relationship to this language is absolutely incredible. It's amazing. So these guys come up with this stuff that's just beautiful and powerful, and it's really life-changing for them. And one of the miracles of the Old Globe is we now have 4 people on our staff working at the Old Globe who we first met when they were incarcerated taking these programs. And then they were subsequently released from prison, and now they work at the Old Globe, which is incredible.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, our producer Claire was all excited because she really enjoys the Shakespeare Festival that happens on one of your 3 stages at the Old Globe. Claire, do you have any questions about your favorite thing?
Goodness, the outdoor Shakespeare is my absolute favorite.
Do people dress up? Do people come all dressed up, or they just come to watch, or is it what is the festival about?
It's really fun. It's really wonderful. First of all, it's absolutely beautiful. When you're out there on a July night.
Oh, it's in July.
And it's starts Memorial Day and goes to Labor Day. So it's basically the summer months. And, San Diego at that time of year, you got to be kidding me, right? It's the most beautiful place in the world, and the moon and the stars. And we're right next to the San Diego Zoo. So every once in a while you can hear animals in the zoo or birds or whatever. It's just spectacular. And Shakespeare wrote his plays for an outdoor theater in London. And so there's something about Shakespeare under the open sky that's magical and special. It's really great.
Think that if Shakespeare were alive today and he was around our age group, do you think you guys would be close friends? Is he somebody that was tortured? Is he somebody that was a good person and a happy person?
It's funny.
What do you think? Would you be friends?
One of the weird things about Shakespeare is that he did not leave a whole lot of traces. There's a bunch of legal documents, some lawsuits that he was part of, some records about the birth and death dates of his children and stuff like that. But there's very, very little about who he was as a man. All we have is this body of plays. And you can guess some things about him. He was funny, sharp-witted, obviously deep and wise. But I don't know. I mean, I got to say, I've never really been all that interested in Shakespeare as a man. There's this movie out, Hamnet, all about Shakespeare's loss of his son and how that led him to write Hamlet. And I go, yeah, I'd rather just read Hamlet. And I kind of have my own relationship to him as a writer of plays. I don't know. People ask me, would you want to go back in time? And I always say, if I could bring a suitcase full of antibiotics, sure.
No. So you don't get like what?
Are you
Black
kidding?
Plague,
The
whatever.
minute you get a paper
polio.
cut in Shakespeare's day, you're a dead man.
Oh
like
my
okay,
God.
I'll go back to 1599 if I can have a suitcase full of penicillin.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Now
then I'll go.
an author too. Talk about the books you've written.
Yes, I've written 2 books. I wrote a book that is now the standard text about Shakespearean acting. It's called Thinking Shakespeare, and it's taught in schools that teach actors. And it goes to that stuff that I was talking about before, about how to get the thoughts of Shakespeare clear when you're acting. And then I wrote a book called Bardisms, Shakespeare for All Occasions. And the reason is that people would always ask me, hey, I have to give a toast at a wedding. Can you give me a Shakespeare quote? Or I'm speaking at a funeral. Can you give me a Shakespeare quote? Constantly calling
What's
me.
a good wedding quote?
So I wrote a book that collects all this stuff.
Oh my gosh. That's
If somebody's graduating from high school, here's a good quote about it. If somebody just got fired from his job, here's a quote that'll comfort him. If you're going to ask me for one off the top of my head, I'm going to have a hard time doing it.
Okay.
But see, so Barry's almost like a doctor where somebody comes up to him and says, hey, it hurts when I do this. And he's like, well, then don't do that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to quite know what to say yet, but there's not one line that you can, off the top of your head, besides the warm one.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll give you one. We were in rehearsal the other day on Hedda Gabler.
Okay.
And my friend Erin, who wrote the play that I was telling you about, who adapted the play, hasn't been in a rehearsal room in a long time just because she's been doing movies. So she said, it really feels special to be back doing this after such a long time. And I said, if all the year were playing holidays, to sport would be as tedious as to work. But when they seldom come, they wished for come, right? So that's Shakespeare. So if every day was a holiday, it would be boring. But when it only comes once in a while, it feels fantastic. Yeah. That's what that says. I just said that to Erin, and she looked at me and she said, oh, shut up.
That book of yours, I'm buying. Bardisms?
Bardisms.
Okay, because...
You should have never told her, Barry, because now she's going to
start quoting Shakespeare.
Good.
I'm going to bust those out for every occasion. I absolutely...
You got to do it.
Oh, my God.
We all need better language in the world,
Yes,
right?
we do.
The world is better when people use big words and when people use complicated language. It's nice. It makes you feel human. It makes you feel like there's something special, especially in this culture we're in at the moment, a very, very like Twitter and TikTok and everything is very flattened, So I like the idea of putting Shakespeare into the world as much as we can.
Speaking of social media and looking at things and reading things, do you read like after your Hedda, just say after Hedda, the day it drops and everybody sees it and then they write about it. Do you read those?
The reviews?
Yes.
Not until after the show is done. I don't
That's a
read them.
good idea.
I don't read them until the show's completely done.
Because why would you have that in your head if it was anything? But if it's something like, well, you know what? That's smart.
And then I read them. As the producer of the Old Globe, I read the reviews of the shows that we produce that I haven't made myself. Because as the producer of the Old Globe, I need to know what the community is thinking. Sure. I need to know what the critics are saying. But when it's my own work, I just stay clear until the show's done.
What's the biggest production that has come out of the Old Globe since you've been there?
That's a really good question. Well, let's see. In the time I've been at the Old Globe, we've sent 7 shows to Broadway.
Wow.
One of them won the Tony for Best Musical, Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, in 2014, something like that. Steve Martin had a musical called Bright Star.
Oh, yes.
We did a jukebox musical of the songs of Huey Lewis and the News called The Heart of Rock and Roll. That went to Broadway. Almost Famous, the musical based on the movie Almost Famous. That went to Broadway. So we do that. We do that a lot of times. The biggest show the Globe has ever produced would be Come Fall in Love. We did an adaptation of a Bollywood movie, a very famous Bollywood movie that people know called DDLJ, which are the first initials of the title of it in Hindi. It's this like the most famous Bollywood movie ever. And we did this huge, when was that? 2022, something like that. Yeah. So we do these big shows. And then we also do like the last, right before New Year's, we had a show in our small theater with just one guy telling the story of his life. This amazing guy who had a career as a jockey and then became a Broadway dancer. And he made this theater piece about his own life. It's just one guy for 90 minutes doing his own thing. And then on the other hand, we do these big giant musicals. It's fun.
Wow. Okay. Somebody who's watching or listening that has never been to live theater, talk to them.
Yeah, okay. Hi there, you, and hi there, you. It's a beautiful, wonderful art form. It goes back thousands of years. And the arts do many wonderful things. Movies are great. Television is great. Painting is great. Poetry is great. Dance is great. But there's something about the theater, which is watching a human being have an experience right in front of you, breathing the same air you're breathing at the very same moment that you're in it, that is magical and special and kind of unique in the world of the arts, because, and here's something that a teacher of mine once told me, which I think sort of really captures it. Imagine you go to a movie theater to go watch a movie. You walk in there and there's nobody in the movie theater. You think, great, I get this whole thing to myself. But if you go into a live theater and you walk in and there's nobody there, you think, oh, this is rotten. Because the magic about theater is you're having this experience with an audience all at the same time. And what's going to happen tonight will not happen exactly the same way tomorrow night. It'll be ever so slightly different because it's live, because the vibe that's in the room changes things. So it's got this sort of lightning in a bottle aspect to it. So it's really special and unique and unusual and deeply, deeply touching and affecting. So I would say to anybody who's never been there before, give it a try. The Globe has all kinds of ticketing programs available that make it possible to get in there for basically not too far much more than the movie ticket would be. And
it's the oldglobe.org.
The oldglobe.org.
The oldglobe.org.
Yeah.
And you can see all the productions that are coming
Come
up.
check it out. And there's Katie Holmes, right there live, right in front of you, not on some screen that she shot a year and a half ago and now it's finally there, but like right this moment live in front of you, there she is.
Oh my God. And you know what? She could be down at the Starbucks before she comes to rehearsal.
Yeah. And
you might see her in town.
Yeah. Everybody's in Balboa. Everybody, on our lunch break in Balboa Park. There she is.
Oh my gosh. And now, how long do you rehearse every day to get this ready in a month?
So the actors are members of a union called Actors Equity Association, and there's a complicated set of rules. Basically, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can do it 6 hours straight, or you can go 7 hours out of 8 with a 1 hour lunch break. Okay. So we generally work from noon to 6 every day.
Okay.
On Saturdays, we work longer because 5 days a week, and then we take Sundays and Mondays off, and then we're back at it Tuesday through Saturday.
She's going to be so phenomenal in this role. I cannot even
Yeah,
wait.
It's great. She's really special.
I love also that the Globe does this community outreach, and I love that you're teaching future generations about this old school theater dates back to
ancient Greece, long time ago.
And to keep it alive and to keep it fresh, that's what I feel like the Old Globe does best.
Yeah, I was in Athens 2 years ago with my family on vacation, and we went to the Acropolis, and you go and there's this theater, and I'm standing there in this ancient theater saying to my kids, I still do this. There was somebody back here 2,000 years ago standing here telling a story to a bunch of people sitting in those rows of seats. I'm still doing it. Weird.
Do you want to do you love it that much that you just want to keep doing it until...
I totally love it. I love it, and I think it's important, and I think it really matters, and I think it makes a difference. I've seen it make gigantic differences to people's lives, not just guys in prison, but artists doing incredible work, audience members seeing a moment on stage that touches them in some very, very deep place. It's an amazingly powerful thing, and I also think that at the moment where everybody's so mad at each other and we're all fighting with each other, this art form brings people together. And the beautiful thing about coming to the Old Globe is you're sitting next to a total stranger, and they might be a different race, different age, different socioeconomic background, different regional background, different level of education from you, different from you in 900 ways. But the lights go out and you're sitting together having this same experience, watching this woman go through this problem in her life, and you're touched in the same way. So the theater reminds us that we all share one humanity. And at this moment in our culture, what could be more important than reminding each other the things that we have in common? And that's why I love it and care about it so much.
Gosh, God, you're like making me tear up a little bit because it's so true and it's so important, especially now.
Yeah.
And
it's an angry moment in the world, and it's nice to be reminded that we don't have to be so angry at each other all the time.
Now, the Old Globe, when you sit there, you're going to have an enjoyable, great time. Now, Hedda might get a little angry at some points because she's kind of a mess. She's a little bit of a hot mess.
Make no mistake, it's a drama. It's a drama. It's not a comedy.
But she's a great character.
But the thing about drama is it's cathartic. It releases something in you. And you're watching actors at the top of their game, and a writer at the top of her game, and artists who are doing this beautiful thing. It's a highly beautiful piece of art that you're watching. So even though the subject matter is tough, there's something beautiful about experiencing it.
My daughter is a theater major at Fordham.
Amazing.
And what is one piece of advice you could give to any theater major that is looking to be someday on the stage at the Old Globe under your direction?
I will tell you. Here's the speech I give to students all the time. If somebody says to you, "I want to be an athlete," you go, "Okay, what do you even talk? What do you mean? You want to play baseball? You want to play curling? You want to skate? What do you mean you want to be an athlete?" People say, "I want to be an actor." And I say, "Well, what kind of actor do you want to be? What do you want to be? Do you want to be a film actor? You want to be a TV actor? Do you want to be on soap operas? Do you want to do Shakespeare? Do you want to do new plays? Do you want to do avant-garde theater?" And the thing I tell my students is try and be specific, because this big, broad idea of "I want to be an actor" is too big to do anything about. But if you can say, "You know what? I want to do Shakespeare. That's what I want to do." Or what I care about are new plays that are exploring complicated, political, gnarly themes, then that's different. And there's a path to go down each one of those things that's specific, that's different from each one of those other paths. So that's what I tell my students. Try to imagine as specifically as you can what you think that kind of acting that you want to do really is. And it doesn't rule out all the other things. It doesn't close any doors, right? I knew very young in my life when I was at Oxford, I said, here's all I know. I want to go back to the United States where I'm from, and I want to do Shakespeare. That's it. I've ended up doing new plays, other classics, musicals, all kinds of stuff, right? But this one focus sort of carried me through, that got me started, that got me on a path, that got me into relationships with interesting and important people. So that's what I would say to your daughter. She's in New York, right? Weekends when she's not at school, go see as much different theater as she can, and so that she figures out what kind she really wants to do.
Wow, that is such great advice. I mean, they even say that about like manifesting things. Be as specific as possible, because even with New Year's resolutions,
I agree.
I want to get in better shape. Okay, well, how? Let's
Right.
let's get more specific. That is like such great advice. I mean, I don't even know what else to say except for that. I mean, you've taught at Juilliard, you've taught at USC, you've taught at, Oxford, I think. You've taught at NYU.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all the top of the top. Of
Yes, well,
learning.
I'm old. I mean, that's
You
the
are
thing.
not. You know
like
the thing is,
stick
you're
around,
not that old at all.
You stick around long enough. I was at Oxford 40 years ago. I got my Rhodes Scholarship 40 years ago. It feels like another lifetime. 40 years. It's terrifying.
No, you look right, and I know how old you are, and we're all like in the same age bracket.
Well, hey, you know what? I love what I do. You want to stay young, you got to love what you do.
Absolutely. 100%.
Right?
And is it true when they say love what you do and the money will follow?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I mean, I remember hearing that. I'm like, oh, well, so far, I don't know about the money part.
One thing I would love what you do, and you won't work a day in your life.
There
right?
you go.
Yeah,
That's really true. Love what you do, and it ain't work. It's fun.
Okay.
What play was that from?
I don't know.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, good question.
And have you ever done movies, and did you kind of just go, eh?
I made one movie. I made a short film, and I just didn't dig it. Didn't know what I was doing.
It's a whole
didn't
different
really figure it
thing,
out.
huh?
It's so totally different. It has nothing to do with the live theater. It's very, very different.
It's not as exciting.
I don't know. People love it. Katie's a director. She's directed a bunch of films. She loves it. She loves making films, and she goes back and forth from the theater to film.
It seems like she's like heading into more to the theater world.
Well,
these
she's been
days.
doing a lot of, the thing about her is she's an artist, she's an artist with a voracious appetite and a real curiosity. So, she's got this whole life in fashion where she's doing really creative things in fashion and in that whole universe. She's a dancer. She's a film director. She's a writer. She's an actor. She's on stage. She's on screen. It's amazing. She's coming into a period in her life where I think major creative things are going to happen. And I'm so happy that she's here. Mm-hmm. She's just honored the Old Globe. And what a thrill for San Diego to have this giant star here.
You'd be like this close to her.
Yeah. Sort of great. And she's going to be doing amazing things in the years ahead, starting with this terrific performance in Hedda.
Well, Katie Holmes is a huge name. Al Pacino is a huge name. Can you just maybe give us a couple more on our laps?
You really want me to name drop? Okay.
Yes,
so,
absolutely. 100%.
So I directed Uma Thurman in her stage debut years ago.
Okay.
I directed Gwyneth Paltrow in a Shakespeare play that the first thing she did after winning her Oscar.
Oh, yeah. She won her
So
Oscar.
that was fun. Right after she won her Oscar, she came and did Shakespeare. I have had a long relationship with Steve Martin.
What?
And pretty much every one of his theater projects I've been involved with one way or the other. Yeah, going back 30 years.
Do you laugh like hysterically
he's the
when you're
greatest.
around him?
Yes,
like he's just like
he's a genuinely funny human being.
like that's what I've heard. Like
Yeah.
just sitting here being he's just funny.
Genuinely funny, and also the nicest, most generous guy you can ever imagine. Incredible guy.
I kind of want to hear about the ones that aren't so nice, but I'm not going to do that to you.
You know what? I honestly, in my experience, they're very few. Most of them are wonderful, because people, they're real artists, and artists are wonderful human beings who care, let's see who else. John Turturro. I've worked with.
Yeah, John Turturro.
Yeah. Ethan Hawke.
Mm-hmm.
Blair Underwood. Richard Thomas. Oh my God. Yeah. Lots of people.
That's it. Okay. Well, whatever. What? See, we are sitting with actual theater royalty,
Well,
like in so many ways.
I don't know about that. It's the Old Globe. That's the royal place. I'm just the happy guy who gets to sit in the chair for a period of time.
TheOldGlobe.org. I don't know if is Dave Henson, the PR spokesperson,
director of marketing and
extraordinaire,
communications,
is sitting here, and I don't know if they are still able to use our little code for the handling fees. I don't know. What do you think? I'm putting you on the spot. If they want to buy, we can figure it out. We will announce it. We'll announce it on our Thursday show. When you buy tickets, you might, get a little break if you put in a code. Maybe that was pre-sale, but I know that I want to see all you guys there. Eric and I are going to be there.
Oh,
Yeah,
we'll
absolutely.
probably go a couple times.
You gotta let me know when you're going to be there so I can say hi.
Oh my God!
absolutely.
Wow! Did you come out at the end and like do the whole?
No. But I'm there a lot.
No?
No, I don't come out. No, but I'm there a lot. Because it's fun. I love being there. I love
Are you
watching
like
the
up
show.
in a booth somewhere, like
No,
with the
just
headphones
sitting
on?
in the audience with everybody.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Well, I'm going to point you out. I'm going to shine my light on
sitting
you.
in the audience, and the way it works is, when I'm watching the show, I see things that I want to change tomorrow. Right.
Oh, okay.
So you take notes, and then the next day you bring the actors together for a notes session. But the way we do it in the theater is I sit with an assistant and I dictate my notes to the assistant, because if I take my eyes off the stage to write something down, I'll miss something. So the director sits with an assistant. Sometimes they'll have a laptop on night mode and just type quietly. Sometimes they'll have a pad and write it out. And so you're constantly leaning over and going, she should wait before she makes that move. And I always say to the people sitting in front of me and behind me, hi, I'm the director. I'm going to be whispering. I'm sorry. I really don't want to.
I'm kind of a big deal. I'm going to be writing notes.
And people are generally pretty cool.
I
about
bet
it.
they are.
People are generally pretty cool. About it.
They are. Oh my gosh. Well, it has been like such an incredible pleasure to have you. I could talk to you
Oh my gosh.
all night.
I've enjoyed every second of it.
I
And I'm
wanna
so
know
happy to be here. And
so
you-
much more about
having
you.
you in your beautiful house and welcoming me so warmly. Thank you.
You know what's so
wonderful.
funny? Like we had kind of a flood in our back patio, so all our patio furniture is like on our walkway, and so I had to warn them beforehand. I was so nervous. I mean, he's the artistic director. He's going to come walking and going, "Okay, am I in a hoarder's house? Sanford and Son? Anybody?"
No, not in the least.
No.
I watched that too. That was on.
Oh yeah,
Alongside F Troop.
that's true.
So I know the reference.
Oh my god.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it's theoldglobe.org, everybody, and you do not want to miss this season. And again, Train's going to be writing music for Begin Again, which is coming up. When is that coming
September.
up? September. In the meantime, there's all those, oh my gosh, it's just like, such a great variety of shows, something for everyone. Let's all start off and see Hedda starting on February 12th.
February 7th.
I know, but isn't that for like
Oh,
special people?
No, previews February 7th, opening night February 12th.
So, we
You
can buy
come on-
preview tickets?
Yeah.
So we can, okay.
Yeah.
Well, heck, I want to be the
Come on
first
down.
people to see it.
See it more than once.
I plan
Absolutely.
to. I plan to. Is there anything you want to say to anybody before you you go to sleep so you
Yeah.
can get up tomorrow morning? And
I'm just so
work with your
grateful
people?
for everybody's interest. Check out live theater. It's magical and special. And if you're near San Diego, it's a great theater town. And if you're not near San Diego, go to your local professional theater company and check it out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Barry
you, Barry.
Edelstein.
Thank you.
Artistic director of the Old Globe.
Thank
We
you.
will see you.
Thank you.
Oh, I don't do that. I do
You
this.
do that?
I do
Oh,
this.
okay. Well,
But,
that's
you
nice.
know,
Ooh, lucky me.
you've got that cough and everything, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry about that.
No, I'm fine.
I know. Your doctor cleared you.
Yep.
Okay. We say something at the end of our podcast. I'll say it first, then you say it, and then Eric will say it. It's really easy. And
Okay.
that's how we sign off. Okay. Thank you so much for listening and watching. This has been such a great episode, and I'm just so thrilled. And love your podcast.
Love your podcast. Love your podcast.
Love your podcast.
I love you, my sweet babies. Bye, everybody.